So far, we've probably built the most important pages in our themes, along with a lot of the elements that can be reused. So there are a couple more that we need to do. For example, contact, about us, and also support. Also, we need a page that shows interactions. So how do elements look like on mouse hover or on mouse press, but also how do certain elements look like in different states? For example, the forms in edit mode. Now we could go ahead and build those pages using the elements we have so far, but I think that will stretch this course a little bit too much. So what I'm going to do instead is walk you through the finished product, show you how it looks like, and give you the reasoning behind its structure. So why did I choose those elements and that particular layout? This way you can fully understand why we've built this theme the way we have, and also get a good idea on how to use Sketch to achieve this. So let's begin. The first page that I've built is a generic secondary. Now, this can be used for a variety of pages, such as privacy policy, maybe terms of use, a sitemap, like I said. So it's a very simple page. It preserves a lot of the layout we used on the other pages, like the main nav here, the page header, and the footer. And the content, well, it's just text right now, but you can basically add anything you want. This particular text left aligned and using the 555 pixel width, which equals 3 of our grid columns. The next one is contact. Now, when designing this page, we must think of the reasons why a person would want to contact us, theme builders, basically. So either it's a support request, in which case we have the sidebar here that says that we cannot help you with support requests sent via email, and please use the appropriate platform, and then we link him to the support platform. Or maybe he wants to send us a message, in which case we have a little form here with name, email, and message. Now, if we have a customer that has used our products and wants to send us a testimonial, then we have this section here as well. And this is basically what the contact page should have. We don't have physical offices, so we don't need an address or a map. We don't have business hours. So that kind of information that's typically found in contact pages is not present here. Then we have the support page. Now, the support page will basically give us a basic introduction to support. We say that our themes have 6 months of free support, and then you can extend this date. Also, we give the user the primary action is to submit a support ticket. So we make it easy for him. And we also set a schedule so that whoever is submitting a ticket knows when to expect a reply. Also, it's really important for us to cover exactly what support is. So in this table here, we have the support item and whether or not it's covered by us, the theme builders. So for example, theme customization or installation is not covered. On top of that, we also have a Q&A section that's divided in 4 areas. The first one, general theme questions with just a click to reveal mechanism here. And then we have separate sections for each of our themes. One for grid, for example, fireworks, elevation. Here you can see some of the questions that might get asked in support. So overall, this is the support page. Now you can see that we've used similar elements to the other pages. So for example, this box here is also used in my account, for example, for login. This sidebar here is also used in the personal information here. It's also used in checkout. So we're working with the elements that we have basically to create new layouts. Then it's the About Us page. Now this page is basically an extension of what we saw on the home page. So if we go to our index and we zoom in here, you can see that this text, we put a lot of heart and soul, is reflected or is continued here. So we take that text, we use it as an introduction to the page, then we use a photo. Normally you would use a team photo, but due to copyright limitations, I just used a regular stock image here. And then we describe the process. So how do we create a theme? We plan it, we design it, and we code it. And then at the bottom, we have a button that says Browse the Theme Library. This is a secondary button. Really easy, again, using elements that we've used previously. And actually, now that I see this, it's misaligned a bit. There we go. Fix that. And finally, we have the interactions page. Now, the interactions page basically shows us our elements and the different states they might be in. For example, this is the navigation when we hover on it. Yeah, we have the active menu indicator, and then we also have this navigation arrow up on a hover state, so we can see how the color changes. And then our tabs, we can see how hover looks like. Same goes for pagination, buttons, cards. So for example, this card right here that says See All Themes. Yeah, if we go back here, we can see how it looks like when we hover on it. And also, these are the cards from the categories. So these cards here, yeah, we can find there are different states here, one for hover and one for pressed. And then further down, we have some typography related styles. For example, links. Here's a regular link, a hovered one, and then the same links on different backgrounds. The footer links, here's how they look when you hover on them. The breadcrumbs that you see in these areas right here on the top, on the page headers. And then for forms. Now, if you remember on forms, we can actually click on them to edit. So on hover, we have a different style that's highlighted here. And then on hover for edit, we have a different style. So if we hover on a field that can be edited, then we have this little pen icon appearing right here. And also the color of the text is different. Then when we enter edit mode, we also have a few changes. So the bottom border of the input is highlighted and the same pen icon is present. And then finally, we have some pop-ups. If you remember this form from the payment options, yeah, you have these lock icons. They are in checkout right here. So this is their default state. And when you hover on this icon, you need to get some information. In this case, it's going to be about confidentiality, basically. And in the case of the CVV, it's basically a description of it. So we created this little pop-up control here. And finally, we have a style for a form on a dark background, exactly like the one we used in the contact page. And that's it for the remaining pages. So to get these pages, you can simply download the source files attached to this tutorial or simply build them yourself using the techniques, using the predefined styles that we've used so far. And that's actually what I recommend doing because it's going to be especially useful if you haven't worked in Sketch before. All right, now we have a complete website design that we can code into HTML. Thanks for watching so far, and please join me in the next lesson for the conclusion of this course and a small assignment.